The company man wheeled the steam drill into the tunnel and set it up against the rock. It was nothing but a machine, all shiny and modern and strange. Then John Henry walked in and stood beside it. He was nothing but a man, all black and fine and natural. Captain Tommy handed Henry a brand new 20-pound hammer. "There ain't nothing like it in West Virginia," he said. "Good luck, son." John Henry held the hammer in his hand and felt its fine, natural weight. In the flickering light of the tunnel, the head of the hammer shone like gold. "Gonna call this hammer Polly Ann," he said. Little Bill sat on the rock, holding a 6-foot drill in his hands. John Henry towered above the steel, just waiting to begin. It was so quiet in that tunnel, you could hear the soft breathing of the steel-driving men. Captain Tommy blew his whistle. The company men turned on the steam drill. John Henry swung his 20-pound hammer back and brought it down with a crash, again, like thunder. As he swung it back, he began to sing, "This old hammer rings like silver, shines like gold, boys, shines like gold." John Henry kept driving steel, and the steam drill kept drilling. Pretty soon the whole mountain was rumbling and shaking. John Henry's muscles bulged and strained like they never bulged and strained before. Sweat cascaded down his powerful chest, and veins protruded from the sides of his handsome face. "Are you all right, John Henry?" asked Captain Tommy. "Don't you worry," said John Henry. "A man ain't nothing but a man, and a man got to beat the steam." Then he went on singing, "Ain't no hammer in these mountains, rings like mine, boys, rings like mine." When they hit the end of the 6-foot drill, Little Bill pulled it out and shoved in a longer drill, and then a longer one, and a longer one still. John Henry swung his 20-pound hammer and drove that steel. He swung and drove faster and harder, until that Polly Ann hammer caught fire. The whole Big Bend tunnel glowed with the blue flame of John Henry's hammer. "Time!" shouted Captain Tommy. "Time!" cried the company man, shutting off the steam drill. "Time!" gasped John Henry, leaning on his hammer. "I need a cool drink of water." While John Henry drank his water, Captain Tommy and the company man measured the holes. The steam drill had done 9 feet. John Henry had drilled 14. "John Henry!" shouted the steel drivers. "John Henry beat the steam." "Congratulations, son," said Captain Tommy, slapping him on the back. "I don't care what you say. I'm going to give you $100 and a new suit of clothes." John Henry leaned heavily on his hammer and sucked in the stale air of the tunnel. "That's mighty generous, Captain Tommy. But you give that $100 to Polly Ann, and you bury me in that suit of clothes." Then he slumped to the ground, clutching his hammer in his hand. "I beat the steam," he gasped, "but I broke inside." As his eyes closed, John Henry lay back against the back earth and whispered, "A man ain't nothing but a man." No one knows the true story of John Henry. However, some folklore experts believe that there was a great steel driver named John Henry who had a contest with a steam drill in the Big Bend Tunnel in 1870. The real John Henry probably did not die immediately after the contest, but rather in one of the many accidents that were common in early tunnel construction. Shortly afterward, the story of John Henry was told in two kinds of songs: hammer songs, like the one that John Henry sings in his tale, and ballads, which are longer and tell more of the story. By the late 1920s, when folklore experts began to study the John Henry legend seriously, there were more than 100 hammer songs and 100 versions of the ballad. This tall tale is based on several different ballads collected by Lewis W. Chappell and by Guy Johnson.